Coming at you live from DNHQ in beautiful South Pasadena, California. This is Blue Heaven Podcast. What is going on, Dodgers Nation? My name is Clint. You can find me on as Real FRG on the Twitters and the Instagrams. I don't know things. I haven't had enough to booze.
They can find you on Real FRG. Is that like the different plus size?
It's Valentine's Day, bro. All right, you know, sometimes it's self-love.
That's the best love to practice on this day. Guys, what's up? My name is Brooke. You can find me at BrookeMe3 on Twitter and Instagram. On today's show, well, happy VD.
Happy VD.
Happy VD to all you who celebrate.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Congrats to the Rams, the Ramily, as they call them. Big time.
The Ramses.
Big time Rams guy right here.
Yeah. Go that team.
In other positive news, the opening day is not looking very good at all. So we're going to talk about the latest failings of Robert D. Manfred. I don't know how many numbers there have been. I'm assuming he's the first.
I don't know.
We also, unfortunately, have to talk about Trevor Bauer. So that's going to be a fun segment for people. Talk a little bit about the idea of a City of Champions parade, and that most likely is going to be a podcast audio only exclusive, so you guys want to check that out on the iTunes. But I spoiled it here. I talked about it here, so that's a thing. Before we get into the show, you got to look at Brooke in the corner. There's two Brookes. One of them is about 10-30 seconds behind, but if you want to hear that part of the thing that I teased, that's an audio thing only. We're on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, Pandora, Player FM, Amazon, and wherever your podcasts are available to eat for free. We live there. Go check us out. Also subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/DodgerNationTV. Doug will love it. Happy wedding, Doug.
You work here or something? That's pretty good delivery of company lines.
D-Mac here.
It's more company lines than Dave Roberts has in a post-game press conference. Guys, don't forget, this is also a live stream. We're here every damn Monday, and we do this all the time, and you guys are our only friends. We're not actually allowed to talk to anybody else outside of the live stream. It's one of the stipulations of our contracts.
OnlyFans?
Yep.
You
guys are our only fans.
I have not got a dime out of this OnlyFans.
So make sure you drop into the comments. Let us know where you're repping Dodger Nation tonight. We want to hear from you. Jumping in a little bit, Luis over on YouTube first. Congratulations first. Don Kim's in the chat. I haven't seen Don Kim in a minute. Don, it's good to see you. Says, what's up, Clint and Brooke?
Has not seen Dong in a minute. That's a boy.
And it's Valentine's Day. Come on, guys. Anthony Keene over on YouTube says, yo, happy Monday, my dudes. Good to see you as always. Yeah, Daniel with my exact sentiment. Yay, football or whatever.
Woo!
Yeah.
Foosball.
I had no dog in the fight. Your birds are long roasted.
Go birds.
Long.
Is that what happens?
Long,
Courtney.
long cooked.
Checking in on Facebook from Idaho. We appreciate you hanging out with us, Courtney. Leslie wants us to turn off the TV in the background. It's not going to happen. I think it adds.
I need to see myself.
I think it adds
twice.
Something. I added this camera too. Is this a cool angle? Hi guys. Hi. There's my hand. That's Brooke's head. And we'll go back to this camera.
There you go.
I'm happy with that camera though. Thank you. Fabrication says my dad played for the Dodgers. Thank you.
You remember Steve Fabrication? He was the third baseman.
I know Steve Polychronopoulos.
Yvonne checking out on YouTube says happy Valentine's Day from Covina. Just down the street. It's not that far.
It's not that far at all. Elizabeth Big Fan says boo. Jorge says Manfred sucks. I agree. He absolutely
You think that
does.
boo was directed at me?
Yes. Did you get Anthony Keene? Because Anthony Keene said happy Monday, my dudes.
I did. Yeah, of course I did.
With
Come
brands. Orlando enjoys us and his wife and streams or something. No, thanks for checking in on the YouTube, Orlando. We appreciate you here on the stream thing. I think I saw an angry comment. I want to find. Oh no, this is a good one. And I think all of this like part of the show now is going to be live stream only. So this is your incentive to tube in every Monday, my dudes. LA Sports Fan says Yelsey Madsick going off on Twitter, still salty about 2020, and that's eliciting some fantastic recourse, we call it on the internet.
I don't know what recourse means. I barely passed college.
Yeah, you drive by, right?
Yeah, I was like, hey, college.
Yeah, car broke down.
Yeah.
So Madsick is, well, of course, the Rams won the Super Bowl, and that made other recent Los Angeles teams talk about, or players from recent championships talk about, hey, let's get in on that championship parade thing, and Matt Sick's like, oh, only non-bubble championships are real, and he's getting crushed. He's getting slammed. So it's
considering
good time.
that his teammate was on that bubble team. Kind of an odd thing to say, you know. Jock is over there like, what?
Like I said on the tweeter, he's setting himself up for that Barstool career in like a season and a half. You know, he's going to get that gig after his MLB career flames out. So we'll podcast with you, buddy. We won't actually do that, but we'll
cage match.
We'll talk more about that idea, the bubble makeup parade thing later on in the show, or not. I don't really know.
I think Yvonne's getting hit on in the chat. So what better place and time and day than Valentine's Day and the Blue Heaven podcast where love is created and made.
Cool Whip Specials in the stream saying hola, hello, or hola. Cool Whip Special. I saw one. Oh, Josh gets in the stream. Katie is first, right on time, about 80 comments in. Appreciate you, Katie, hanging out with us. Jeff, something. I'm bad at names. It says Freddie will go to the Dodgers. Who? The one that got fingered? It's a terrible movie. Tom Green is a terrible actor. Thank you. You know that one? No? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I understood that reference.
I'm proud of you for finally getting one. Samuel's in the stream, the guy who always wants to be on the show.
You don't want to be here. You don't want to
we got Robbie here. You guys can kind of see Robbie the robot. We dressed him up now. He's got a number 50 jersey. So
raging alcoholic, has a huge problem. He's really a menace to this office.
Yeah, basically, as are we all. So happy Valentine's Day. Did you do anything fantastic here for your Valentine's Day?
Returned a U-Haul.
You heard it here first, folks. Mm-hmm. You know, our Douglas, just a bit before Valentine's Day, got hitched all the way out in FLA, which is why we did not go. We were invited. We did not go to Florida because, nobody wants to go to Florida. But he did take some time to be on the internet machine today on our Dodgers Nation Twitter. He asked, who is the most lovable Dodger of all time? There are some really good comments on here, but here's our Valentine's Day section of the show. Who is your most section. Lovable? Yeah, this is who gave you the most VD from the Dodgers of all time?
The most lovable of all time? Mm-hmm. Oh, man, there's so many different names that you could pull from. I mean, I could think of least lovable for sure. There's a lot of least lovable names out there.
Is your least lovable Kike?
Yeah, man.
Because like Luke really hasn't done enough to be that hated yet.
I haven't also talked to him, so it's like I can't really hold an opinion. I can hold an opinion against him, and I will.
Yeah,
but
I'm pretty sure Gary's seen Kike's Tyler Nutsack. So
yep, things happen.
Most lovable that makes it better.
Man, I don't know, man. Ryu's pretty lovable.
Pretty lovable.
I love his face. He's a smile.
Gail on the Twitter, our friend Gail, positive correspondent, says Clayton Kershaw. Like, why is this even a question? Of course it's Clayton Kershaw. Good answer. Quality answer.
I would argue he's not very lovable at all, especially on game day.
Yeah, fair. I do love old friend Ned 2.0 on the Twitter. He went with Juan Goribe. And you cannot go wrong with Uribe.
I'm watching a modern day heartbreak in the chat.
Why? What's going on?
Life is good. Just got let down by Yvonne. I really like this. You guys should start hitting on each other more in the most respectful and nice way possible. Someone's got to find love in our chat.
Antonio says Jose Lima, rest in peace. Daniel says Phil Bickford. Life is good says Lucky Guy. I'm guessing for you and the love affair you had with your U-Haul. We appreciate that.
That's the guy who had his heart broken.
Oh, well.
Selena says Adrian Beltre. That's a good one. I met Adrian. Remember? I told you that? He was very nice for no reason.
With him, right?
Yep.
Yeah, totally directly with him. He invited you via AIM.
I came up on him real quick and aggressively and excited because of my childhood wonder.
Brooke, all about that caming real quick.
Big time coming guy.
Katie says
Happy VD Day.
Katie says first. Gary A says Manny Ramirez. A lot of great Dodgers. But
Don Kim says Nate Jones seemed like a nice guy. I did not expect to see a Nate Jones in the comments today. I'll tell you that.
He was a real nice guy.
Was Nate Jones the mongoose?
Yes.
Yeah. Seemed like a nice guy. He was real country. He's like, I'm real thankful.
You can't call them that. Oh, yeah. Country.
I'm real thankful to play or something like that, whatever they say in the South.
All right. Well, this has been your guys' stream-only section. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll talk more about stuff later on. But first, a lot has happened since we were here last week. Justin asked, who TF are these guys? I don't know.
I'm your mom's boyfriend. Nice to meet you. We never actually got introduced, but I'll be by later to play your Xbox for you.
Yeah. He's the 100th participant. A lot has happened since last week. The lockout continues and is likely heading towards a delayed season. So fun. Brooke lied. He promised us otherwise. Plus, we got an update on the Trevor Bauer situation. That still has more to unfold from here. But what first, we should talk about some Dodgers moves, because Dodgers, they've won the offseason with some of these player signings now that they're allowed to do of the minor league variety. We got some guy, Chris Betts, no relation to Mookie. That's a guy. Stephen Romero, who is a gentleman who one time was a Major League Baseball man, and then he went to Japan to play some baseball, and then he's now back here on a minor league deal. And news is so slow that Ken Rosenthal tweeted about him, and it's like, oh, this guy has a chance to be the Dodgers DH. Ken, sit this one out, my guy.
Ken's like, I need something. You got to give it to me.
I don't think Stefan gonna be here.
Cool Special says, if he's dating my mom, Brooke is a chubby chaser. Which, classic cell phone. Yeah, I like that. The cell phone. Real good.
I love cell phones. So I make contact with people. Mm-hmm. And then Cole Dunsing, who you wrote an in-depth piece on.
Yeah, he has an arm. And
does he have two of them?
He used some, probably Fiverr, to have somebody do his background with watermarks on it.
He did.
He made his own announcement on the Dodgers signing. And you know what? We're happy for him. Welcome to LA.
Yeah, welcome to Rancho, bud.
Welcome to Rancho or whatever.
Yeah, we appreciate you being excited. Dodgers are a team to get excited about.
I would be excited if I got drafted by or picked up by any team.
Listen, we are the short season champions. 2020 happened. 2022 is going to happen. That's how it be. This is how we roll. 1981 happened. Let's go. Lock it in for justice. It's going to happen. The other one I really enjoyed, and a lot of y'all folks should enjoy, old friend Zach Lee got picked up by the Colorado Rockies, which is a double-edged sword. One, he should have a clear path to a spot in the rotation. However, that's at Coors Field in Colorado. If you don't remember, Zach Lee was the last first-round pick of the McCourt era, I think.
10 team.
Yeah, 2010 draft pick. They paid him like $5 million for some reason.
Because he wanted to go to LSU to play football.
So they paid him to not go play football. The guy
the devil sport.
Threw his career away, but we got Chris Taylor out of him. So, good luck. I hope Zach Lee gets a career at some point there.
Have you seen Zach Lee lately?
Yeah, he looks like a basic 30-year-old white dude.
Over 30.
He's definitely seen some better days.
Yeah, man, that poor guy.
Speaking of better days,
life.
Remember when we used to have baseball?
Nope.
Same. It's been a while. We are on I think today, Monday, is day 75 of the lockout, which has robbed us of 75 days of delicious off-season hot stove, as they say. There were some updates last week. Your boy, Rob Manfred, went on the TV and had a press conference at some ungodly time in the morning here West Coast.
So we wouldn't see it.
And people wouldn't be mean to him. He said the DH is coming. And he said very little else.
Which one?
Yes. Oh, wait, I gotta
There it is. Gotta be here for the whole show.
Theo Albert. Happy Valentine's Day, guys. Yeah, but that was it. He was trying to make people excited about the DH, and they threw in some low-level BS that baseball fans aren't going to care about, akin or related to draft pick compensation and other things that are, quote, to mitigate or going to help mitigate tanking and going to help the free agency signing stuff, whatever, et cetera. I really planned this part out. It's supposed to help free agency in the offseason.
Real inside baseball economics stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Let me get Stan Kasten on here to say something dumb. But that's the thing. So we got DH coming. That's Exciting.
The one piece that we knew was absolutely happening this year was agreed upon. Well done, both sides. You guys should take a break.
Manfred tried to move the needle with words, and there was no real action. There was nothing out of what he said. Was it Thursday? He just said BS to try to make it seem like the owners were trying to get somewhere in the middle of a CBA, a middle ground for the CBA between the players and the owners, and it was way far apart because, billionaires are cheap. That's about it.
How else are you going to be a billionaire?
It's fair. You got to save money to make money.
That's why I'm rich in love. And, I'm not really rich in anything, actually.
Rich in VD. The two sides met for about an hour on Saturday. They blew a phenomenal chance to make like a public relations statement with a new deal just before the Super Bowl to try to upstage, upside down 50 Cent.
What a halftime show.
Listen, I love the memes that have come out of this.
Oh, the best memes. I love that. I love that. That's the best thing about halftime is that you're going to get crazy memes online for the next 3 weeks.
I love this generation and how fast y'all is.
You guys work so fast. You guys are so much better than me. So much better than me. There's so many good ones.
Because we can all sit there and think Curtis Jackson was just hanging upside down for 25 minutes potentially.
The memes of him shaking.
Anyways, appreciate you, Fitty. We will find you in the club.
Yeah.
So anyways, baseball blew its phenomenal opportunity. Manfred, amongst his many pointless words he said on Thursday were about, we hope we can get this done and we can get, pitchers and catchers reporting to spring training on time. It was never going to happen at this point in time. You really, really are now at a point where you're backed up against the wall about a season starting on time. Here's a bit of words that were written by people much smarter than me or this guy. This is from The Athletic, so I believe this is Evan Drellich saying, because Saturday when MLB made its first economics proposal of February, and mind you, the week before, they were supposed to present a counter proposal to the players, and instead they said, hey, we want a mediator. Go send it to the media, quick. Their first economics proposal in February was predictably, just like everything else that preceded it, it was bad. It was not a very good proposal. MLB made moves, MLB made moves it through. That's not spelled right. Hey, Athletic, do it right. I just copy-pasted. They made moves. I get it now. MLB made moves it thought the players should consider. I should read better.
Yep.
Hooked on Phonics. Sponsor. And the players felt, again, lowballed and frustrated by the, quote, core economics proposal from this. And they are like millions and millions of dollars apart in these monies.
Yeah, that's really encouraging. Pitchers and catchers were supposed to report this week. So, we're right on schedule, boys. We're locked in for justice. We're about to be playing baseball soon. Chalk it up.
If you say one, does that give me one back?
No, it doesn't. You still can't say it.
Eric, I need a ruling. Cool Whip Special says, how do words good? Thank you. Mm-hmm. Listen, I crushed it. Mm-hmm. There's all these lights. We've been drinking.
No lights.
Not that much. No music. MLB also provided dates to the Players Association, which is weird, which is like, hey, if we get this done here, you can start here. This is how much spring training you'll have, and we want to be able to get the season started on time. So they went into the negotiations knowing, or whatever, went into the negotiations knowing that there wasn't going to be anything done and gave them more borderline arbitrary threats through calendar dates, I guess.
I hate everything.
Real inside economic baseball.
Completely aside from what we were just discussing, but kind of related. Matt over on YouTube says, goodbye to real baseball now that the DH will be in both leagues. I've never really actually asked you directly about this, but how do you feel specifically about the DH coming to the National League, permanently?
Well, if you asked me before, let me tell you something right here, Max Kellerman. Let me be clear.
You guess I'm Max Kellerman?
Yeah, why not?
That sucks.
Before the 2020 season, absolutely not. Did not like it. Watched the 2020 season. Very much enjoyed it. It was fun. It was fun watching, pitchers not struggle and try their best. to maybe get a bunt down.
No other team has a better advantage in baseball by having the DH in the National League than your Los Angeles Dodgers, by the way.
And
we proved that with the 2020 World Series. Let me put it this way. I'm mostly a baseball purist. A lot of things that have been introduced over the years, I've been very slow to accept or be excited about. Let's just talk replay for a second. When replay first showed up, I absolutely hated that idea. I was like, this isn't the NFL. This is going to take forever. Baseball's already slow as hell anyways. We're going to add this in. It's going to be even worse. And I started to realize, like, they're getting calls right. Angel Hernandez doesn't have as much of a control over a game as he shouldn't have any control over a game, let's be honest. But now I'm at a point where I'm like, hey, I accept this. So if you're at a point where you're like, DH in the NL, I'm not for it. Just give it a shot. Be open-minded to it. It might grow on you. And if it doesn't, then, whatever, you're screwed because it's already there.
Yeah, the Dodgers are incredibly well stacked and stocked to be able to handle and work with the DH and keep people like, let's say Justin Turner healthy for an entire 162-game season, because we saw the numbers drop off in the second half where he played tied for career-high games as a 37-year-old or 36-year-old. How old is, people are when they're that old? I was going to say shit, but, this is a family show.
I can't say that. Lucas is watching.
Our Eric Yulo on the 3 Up, 3 Down podcast argued in favor of the DH and argued that maybe this year could be Justin Turner's finest year as an offensive player in Major League Baseball. So check that out on our YouTube channel. I also will likely upload that as a standalone video or standalone audio on our podcast stream. So things will be changing up a little bit on our podcast stream as well. It won't always just be us, but there's going to be a lot of, just us on there. Getting back to the lack, I guess, of movement in CBA talks. Again, there was dates provided to the Players Association, which means they knew nothing was going to happen that day. They knew that their proposal was not strong enough to get any action out of the players. It wasn't going to get the movement they needed to do. As it stands, the regular season is heading towards a delay, and it looks like all sides are prepared to go into the regular season and lose games, which is frustrating for fans because we could have had a longer season in 2020, but we couldn't because, these idiots complain and don't want to pay people the proper amount of money, or if they were going to play more games, they had to take a pay cut or something. It's very, very dumb. There is still time for the regular season to start on time. Oh
boy, it is running out though.
If a deal can get done and players get into camps by like March 1st, I think is probably the drop dead date to make that happen. As part of Manfred's, I don't even know what the hell to call it. It was a press conference, but it was more of a shit show. He said one of his quotes was about, we just need a 4-week spring training, which tells you they were, again, already planning for a short season or for not as long a spring training and for a deal to not get done on that Saturday. So if you get that 4-week ramp up, which starting pitchers are definitely not going to enjoy. But Manfred already said that's his goal. He called any missed regular season games disastrous, yet he does not take they don't seem to be doing that much to avoid losing those games. So what are our thoughts then? What are your cemented thoughts, we'll say, because that's a word I'm choosing to go with after all of this latest non-news in no baseball?
Look, the truth of the matter is that it could really change on a dime. They could walk in tomorrow and something drastic could happen. They could get to a point where Major League Baseball is like, look, they are not going to move from their position at all. I didn't expect the league to bend to the will of the players quickly because you want to take every chance that you can to capitalize on every dollar. If you're selling something on eBay, or let's go offer up because it's modern day society. No one buys things on eBay anymore. There you go.
Penny saver.
If somebody says, hey, you're selling this for $100, I'll give you $50 for this. You're not going to say right away, like, deal. You're going to say, like, let me get back to you in a few days and wait and see. Maybe something else comes along. Maybe somebody offers you 75, 80, 90, whatever it might be. You don't want to take that first offer. And why should you? You have the bargaining room. You have time to make that agreement. You hold a lot of the power in that situation. And that's exactly the case with Major League Baseball and the Players Union. Didn't expect them to get a deal done immediately. Didn't expect them to suddenly walk in and be best buddies and bringing each other, Krispy Kreme and coffee. Didn't expect that. Yeah. And that's not what's happening. So I do believe It will happen. I still believe that we will have a full 162-game season. I still believe that spring training will be slightly delayed, and that's probably for the best because players don't want to go to that many spring training games because it's pointless and people get hurt and guys like Justin Turner break their wrists and it's garbage. So I remain hopeful, which is very new for me.
Yeah, you're not
not a big-time hope guy.
You're not big on hope.
I haven't had a lot of hope or happiness in my life, so.
Roach said,
New year, new me.
Roach says Brooks said the season will start on time. So short season guaranteed. Are you the new and up and coming Boob Nightingale?
I might be, yeah. Boob Smith.
Let me get you brighter lights on you.
Just like a halo around my head, like a beaming off my forehead. Yeah.
Oh God, we love some boob.
Yeah, I've been wrong about a couple things within the past like 10 minutes. So, whatever.
Listen,
I like how we pulled that clip from that Blue Heaven. I think Roach did one time, and this guy's like, well, this guy obviously has a clear history of not being right about things. And I was like, hey, you're a mother.
He's right. You do have a mother at one point in time.
Probably.
All right. Well,
it's sweaty in here. These lights are bright.
There's a lot of lights, as you guys can sort of see. There's a couple right there. Anyway, let's talk about the stuff that we're not excited to talk about. Just because the discourse that is going to happen here in this chat can likely be frustrating and incomplete and wholly reactionary. So let's let cooler heads prevail. Let us not be
a dick.
Don't be a dick, because this is still an uncomfortable situation. The court has opted to not file criminal charges against Bauer, which, as the offseason, cruised along, became more and more apparent. I said just before we took our holiday break that it's looking more and more likely that Trevor Bauer will be in this Dodgers rotation in 2022. For me, the big kicker is the lack of attempt for the Dodgers to resign Max Scherzer. They figured they probably have a guy coming back who's, quote, ace-worthy. The district attorney, quote, said, after a thorough review of all available evidence, including the civil restraint order proceedings, witness statements, and the physical evidence, the people are unable to prove the relevant charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Legal mumbo-jumbo talk, which means people will say he gets away with it. It's important to know none of us were in the room. Bauer said it himself in his, decision video or whatever the hell it is. Like, there was two people in the room, two people who know what happened in there, which is understandable, and that's an accurate statement. It is important to note that no charges filed does not directly equal innocence. They just don't have enough to prove anything one way or another. Some people watch the video, Bauer's video, where the first time, he spoke out at length about his situation. And, we're humans. We're all going to get swayed very quickly, often are going to get swayed very quickly one way or the other. Mm-hmm. So having heard Bauer most recently, some folks who were staunchly against him are going to be, maybe he's right or whatever. Maybe we don't know. It's an uncomfortable situation to talk about, because if you say, oh yeah, he's right and she's a liar, then you are just throwing, I can't think of how to word this properly. I had it earlier, but then you drove me to drinking.
I did do that. Yeah,
you can't negate a woman's claims of assault in any way. And the other side, Lauren is saying accusations don't automatically mean guilt. It is, the whole idea of proven innocent until guilty, all that kind of stuff. It should have some truth. It's a different era, though, unfortunately, where whatever is online, whatever TMZ says first, is going to take the precedent. And, everybody jumped to conclusions one way or the other in this case. And it's, again, it's uncomfortable. I don't have to make decisions on it, which is great. Jamie, he's not necessarily innocent. He just has not been charged with anything. We don't know who is innocent and who is not.
I'll just address them because I don't care. I don't care what you people think of me. So there's people who say, why do you guys, like this I don't like this comment, but why did you take the female side from the start? I think people need to understand that some of us come from different backgrounds. Some of us come from different experiences, and things like this maybe affects people more than maybe you. Maybe you've been fortunate enough to never run into anything like this. Maybe you've been fortunate enough to never run into domestic abuse in your life. And for that, I'm very happy for you. Truly I am, because that is terrible. Some people like me have. It is very emotionally scarring and damaging and hurts very badly. So when you see it in public, on a large spotlight, on a team that you love, and that takes you away from everything, it makes everything good in your life again. I don't know when I can necessarily say the Dodgers make everything good in my life, but makes you forget about a lot of your problems, makes you forget about a lot of the bad things that are happening in the world, and you get to just enjoy it. You know, when that happens to something like your team that does that for you, it's tough. It is really tough to embrace. It's really tough to move on from. So now the question is, where do we go from here? Because we're at a point now where we don't have any answers about what's going to happen with we don't even know when the lockout's going to end, let alone what the hell this is going to be. So I don't know. It's going to be a weird situation. I don't know where the Dodgers specifically are going to go from here, because MLB will still have to do their side of things, and whatever that might look like. You know, let's say, for instance, we're going based off of past incidences of the violation of the domestic abuse policy. Could be a very short suspension, and it could be an entire season suspension based off of how they've handled a couple different things. There doesn't seem to be a very good guideline or guiding force in how they've approached this. Obviously, they are privy to more information than we are, or the general fan is, and so we're probably just not going to know that, I don't think, ever, to be honest with you. So when they make that decision, then it will then go to a battle. Like, it will be a battle. It absolutely will be, because it's going to be one of those things where if he gets suspended, he loses out on that pay. So why would he want to accept a suspension, regardless of whether or not it's backdated and he would get to play day one of the season? Mm-hmm. Regardless of that, he is going to lose out on pay. So because of that, there is going to be an ensuing battle, the desire to clear the name. It's going to be really difficult, and it's going to be a real tough situation to handle. From my viewpoint and the way that I see things playing out, I know people have said, like, oh, they're probably going to, the Dodgers, probably like not play him, right? Like, they'll probably cut him loose or whatever. I don't think that's going to happen. No. I think, they're not going to just take a $40 million wash and call it a day. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of people that would like to see that happen. I'll withhold my own particular opinion on that, but it's a business at the end of the day, and businesses are going to act accordingly, because businesses are designed to make money and designed to be the most profitable that they can. And I don't know what they're going to where they're going to go from there. Yeah,
the Dodgers are I believe, going to, just getting a little ahead of ourselves on it. The Dodgers are going to take the stance that MLB takes. Every quote insider says MLB will attempt to hand down some sort of suspension against Bauer, and they are going to fight that. Bauer and his people will fight that, and maybe they're definitely fully within their rights to fight anything handed down to them. That's the whole idea. He could be, that's the best way to say this. Look, he wasn't charged with anything, so why would he not staunchly fight MLB? Like, why are you trying to suspend me? Now we get into this
from that view. From that viewpoint, it's definitely understandable why he'd be like, no, of course I'm not going to take a suspension. I was not charged with anything, so I'm going to approach this as such.
Right. That cost him money, and it cost him his name in a way.
Plus, just the sheer amount of games that he missed and could potentially have been suspended for, based off of what, again, MLB might not do anything. I have no idea what they're going to do at this point. But, MLB, when you're making close to $40 million a year, your per game average is pretty damn high.
The terrible thing is MLB has bigger problems on its hands than this. But it shouldn't be like, this should be pretty high up on the priority list. Sticking to the script here a little bit, let's get into how and why MLB could suspend him.
I would like to address this first, though, because Gary said he already basically served a suspension. No, he got paid time off. Like, it was, he got paid while he was gone. It was not a suspension. If you get suspended from work, you're probably going home without pay, unless you work for whatever. But I won't say that. He got paid while he was gone. Like, he got paid his deal, his contract. So and didn't work out.
From Ken Rosenthal through I think it's the joint domestic violence and abuse policy. MLB can suspend Bauer from the league's joint domestic violence policy. Quote, a player may be subjected to disciplinary action for just cause by the commissioner for a violation of this policy in absence of a conviction or a plea of guilty to a crime. There have been neither of those latter parts. We know Mr. Bauer has a rough history with Major League Baseball and Rob Manfred, which makes the situation even more precarious for MLB trying to suspend him. Right. And then you get into, all right, let's say Bauer was a victim here himself, and I hate the idea of using victim, but it's still, you do have people in high positions of wealth and power who are going to be targeted, and potentially, have their name and wealth attacked. I'm not saying that that's the case here, but let's say in the situation, he's perfectly clear, and MLB tries to suspend him. It's not going to go over well. It's not good. I lost my original train of thought there because I don't want to talk about this at all. This is awful.
I don't either, guys. I hope you understand how much this sucks to talk about.
A whole bunch.
It really does. I mean, this. I come to do this for fun. I enjoy doing this a lot of times. I like talking to you guys. I like interacting with you. The thing that I hate about this is the fact that how much it tears people apart. It does. Yeah. It really separates people. And for some reason, I don't quite understand it. I don't quite understand why a lot of people who choose to defend him are so firmly staunched in this that they want to attack somebody else's character and everything about them. I don't understand that entirely. I don't understand attacking somebody's character just in general when we're just in a chat hanging out, drinking beers and talking about baseball. I don't get it. Like if you have a bad sports take, whatever, blow them up, tell them it's a bad sports take, move on, cheersies, and let it go. But this is something that we do have to talk about, and we avoid it as much as possible because we like you guys to have fun, and I don't think you're having fun doing this.
And the big thing the reason we have to talk about it because we're quote respected journalists here. He says in jest, but we've taken a hard stance on this at times, and I think my hard stance towards Bauer and his people is they're just not the type of people I enjoy. I don't like boastful people. I don't like people that are like, oh, I'm better than you. Just have a fucking good time with your life and don't ruin other people's days and lives and time, This
is a good little tension breaker. Brian says, I would let your mom pitch. There you go. Appreciate that. That's the kind of jest and humor that I need in my life, guys. I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Right-hander or left-hander, though? Because we got too many lefties.
Dual-hander.
Ow, my shoulder. More will come from this, of course. The lockout still needs to be fixed before MLB can talk to Bauer. MLB will try to suspend him. Jeff Passan said, based on the rules as written in the joint policy, the relevant precedents and the belief of numerous sources familiar with the process. The question isn't whether Trevor Bauer will be suspended. It is a question of how long. So it becomes how long. Back to Jeff. The expectation around the sport is that the league would pursue a suspension of at least 1 year. Multiple sources suggested a possibility of 2-year suspension. Personally, I don't think anything happens because there's so much with this quote woman that paints this odd picture that Bauer's people will be able to throw in MLB's face. And if there was say consent in all of this, how does MLB get to police how people, handle their bedroom business?
Oh no, a guy named Desert Drifter called me a snowflake. Oh no. How am I going to financially recover from this?
Hey, Desert Drifter, how many Eagles and gun stickers do you have on the back of your F-150? Sorry, F-250. Let me know in the comments below. I'll send you a new one to your mom's address.
There it is. Was waiting for it. Knew it was coming.
Anyways, all this sucks. Trevor Bauer's probably pitching for your Dodgers this year. Because MLB can't suspend him enough, or they won't have enough to suspend him, and the Dodgers aren't going to do anything if MLB doesn't do anything. Because we know how the Dodgers are. They don't want to do it. Oh, this is what MLB said, and they're just going to defer to the statement. Anyways, that's enough. Dolphin Flipper says an unconscious person cannot consent. Stop being weirdos. I 1,000% agree. When this first happened, I yelled at people about the fact that once you are unconscious, the line of consent is over. But we don't know if said woman was unconscious at any point. And it sucks that we're still talking about this. So we're moving on. What kind of dog is your favorite?
Cool Whip Special pointed out that he drives an F-350. He or she or they.
They.
I don't know what Cool Whip Special is. It's a cool name.
Was it Desert Mini?
Drifter.
Mini Pecker. Mini Pecker drives an F-250 with
Cool Whip
several
Special
guns.
drives a 350. And Cool Whip Special's cool.
Oh,
and his mom's chubby.
With the Chubby Chaser package. What's something fun we could talk about that isn't this final thing that we're supposed to like record?
You excited for Winter Olympics? This is already happening, right?
Oh god, yeah, that's totally. I think it's really a thing. You know, there was one like women's luge, I think, or women's skiing, and they were just all wiping out.
Have you seen the tandem luge?
No, I have not.
The one person lays on their back, and then the other person lays on top of that person on their back, and they go down together.
I would love to just lay on my back and slide.
But I want to know what the person on the top does. I mean, I know what the person on the top does, but, you know, in this particular situation, I don't know what the person on the top does. Katie says first.
Breaking, Katie is first in the stream. We appreciate you, Katie. Yeah, what kind of dog is best? That's my question to you.
It's a dumb question. There are many schools of thought.
All right, well then let's just dive into this. How much do you miss Kenta Maeda?
I do.
Santiago asks.
A lot, yeah. I posted. By the way, it turns out that when I have had too many beers, that's when my tweets get the most likes. That's when that happens. I tweeted, not late at night, but deep into a night of drinking that I just miss Kenta. That's it. I didn't say anything else other than that. I said I miss Kenta because he had posted a thing, and I was like, oh, I miss him. That was it. That was my thought. I didn't expect. Woke up to like 1,000 likes on it, and I was like, what the hell? Like, why do people like? Okay.
I really haven't paid as much attention.
I miss Kenta too.
I haven't paid as much attention to your Twitter. I should
I don't like you either. Cuck.
You started like being a Lakers guy, and I'm not here for that crap.
Yeah, I'm legally obligated to tweet about the Lakers and how much they suck once every 2 hours.
How about the Blake show? No, Kenta posted his first career home run, and he's sad that the DH is coming.
Roach said 1,000 likes. That's mid. Your mom's mid. She's mid.
Did you retweet it with the N drunkenly?
No, I didn't, actually. I don't think anybody did. And
what a coward.
That's why I was like, woof, look at all that interaction. People like me. Actually, people like Kenta. That's, no one likes me. I don't even have a picture of my hair and my mustache on my profile anymore.
Yeah, you don't. That's a completely different character.
Should have taken a picture today. There was a good wall out there. I was like,
You could take a picture in the barber chair.
You got this
Matt
right
Kemphead. This is real professional. By the way, you guys
thumbs up.
We put me and Brooke and Eric struggled mightily to get this LA bobblehead thing up on the wall last week. Like, he had to work, and I burped into Brooke's soul.
Yeah, I think Leslie had said that she's really missing it. So hopefully she noticed today, and she's like, "Look at how beautiful it is."
Wait, does this help? It sort of helps. There it is. Another angle, about the same height.
Roach said mid is generous. She's like a 3. What's up with you guys tearing apart your moms on the show today? What did they do to you? I'm supposed to do that. I can't even do it anymore. Everyone's being all mean to their mom. Call your moms after this show, or I will.
I'm calling her. Oh
no.
That's a dead mom joke. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Well, we had fun coming out of that nightmare. If you guys want to know our thoughts on the City of Champions parade, you're going to have to listen to the podcast because we're trying this for a little bit. I'm sorry.
Exclusive content.
Delicious. It's just like your mom. All right, we're going to get out of here because we're sad and icky on the inside. So find us on the internet at DodgersNation.com. Subscribe to the Blue Heaven Podcast on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, Pandora, Player FM, and Amazon Music. Everywhere your podcasts are available free. For free, we live there. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. You'll be glad you did.
Ooh, I can already smell that one. That was quick. Guys, I'm at BrookMe3. This is at Real FRG. We're on Twitter and Instagram. We are at Dodgers Nation on Twitter and Instagram as well if you want to check us out. Guys, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your comments. Tell your mom the throat code. Happy Valentine's Day. I'll be there later. Bye.
Bye.